Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Thinking Cap YouTube channel. We are here and we are excited because our guest is a very special one today. His name is Mr. Lars Brown. He's going to tell you a little bit about himself. But first, my name is Ian Santos, aka Positive Tos, aka Mr. Thinking Cap. So without further ado, let's introduce Mr. Lars Brown. Thank you for coming out.
What's good, people? What's good? Honored to be here.
I got a question for you.
What's up?
Are you ready to get lit?
Man, let's get lit.
Let's get lit. You said you had some things going on. What do you have going on? Share with us any events that you have coming up or anything major going on in your life. We'd like to hear about it.
Well, you guys stay tuned for the Misfits movie.
Ooh. Yes.
Ooh. Hopefully we'll have an opportunity to create a franchise for you young artists out there. A franchise is a movie that has a sequel or more. And it creates a following and allows for a huge branding opportunity. The Misfits came together when I teamed up with Skyward Studios in Altamont Springs. The owner and operation manager there, Scott and Mary Poley, they're a married couple, and they've directed and executive produced several movies. And they wanted to get back to the arts, their origins. So, Scott does like tap. His daughters dance, and so they opened up a dance studio and turned it into what's going to be like a Juilliard type vibe, where you can learn dance, TV and filmmaking, acting, the whole nine. It's not just come take a dance class. So yeah. I teamed up with them because they pitched this idea to me for Misfits, which is basically a misfits group of kids who you wouldn't think would be competing to save their lives in a semi-level dance challenge. It's like an underground dance battle. And so these misfits combine their forces, and they're all kind of awkward. And funny enough, awkward is like their superpower. I don't want to give too many of the characters away, but these young kids come together to take on this underground dance scene, and we shot it kind of in a Scott Pilgrim Takes on the World kind of vibe. So very comic strip. Very pronounced in its colors and add-ons, and it's a super fun project. So I had an opportunity to choreograph in that. I'm actually acting in that one as well, and got my first associate's producer credit on that movie.
Ooh.
So right now we've just finished the proof of concept, which we'll send out to be financed internationally, and when it's all done, we'll go back in and do the full feature length. And I've utilized talent from Florida. Mark Mullins is a huge casting agent. He's bi-coastal.
Heard of Mark Mullins.
He's New York, all the Southeast, LA, and he teamed up with us, and he's actually investing in the movie. He believes in the project that much.
Wow.
So we had a great turnout, but I specifically wanted to use talent from here in Orlando. So shout out to some of the crews that came out, the squad, my brother Ben 10 in the house, girls group that my associate choreographer Ricky Dawn Cooper is a part of. They came out and they held it down. I had my boy Soldier Tight Eyes, one of the illest crumpers in the world, come through and slay the scene. So yeah, and then we had Hip Hop Kids from Miami. Shout out Hip Hop Kids. Well, it was a huge project, so we're really excited about that. So that's the next big thing.
Are you still looking for talent for that?
If you trying to get into the movie game and dance game, holler at my man Ian. We might be able to make something happen.
Hold up, but I'm the one who's looking. Hold up, can I get in it? Can I get in it?
What y'all think? We'll let the viewers in the comments. You put if I should let that wave be in the movie. If y'all comment yes, we're gonna find a role for your boy.
Oh, so I didn't mean to cut you off. I know you're getting ready to roll into some more stuff.
Yeah, no, just got a couple, small projects. Always been into fashion. I think as a kid, not being able to get what I want helped to grow that appreciation even more. I've always been into colors, and I've always kind of been a standout kind of guy. Like, I don't know, it's because I'm short, maybe. I felt like the flashier I looked, the more attention.
Shout out to the short guys.
Short guys stand up.
Feel you,
man,
brother.
when I stand on my personality, I'm about 6'3" though.
Ooh.
So, developing a competitive danceware hip hop line right now called 117. I tour all over the country and I choreograph these productions and these solos and duets. And one of the main pieces to that is costumes. And I realized there was a hole in the market because the people that are creating the hip hop costumes, they're not necessarily attached to the music. So you've got, kids on stage dancing to like really urban music, but they're wearing like clown outfits.
Mm-hmm.
And so it never really translates. And that's not what hip hop is. Hip hop is definitely a movement. It's a vibe. It's a culture. So I wanted to produce clothing that matches the feeling of hip hop, not just what someone thinks hip hop clothing is for kids who are dancing and adults who are dancing on stage. So 117 is in the production stages right now. Just finalized or hired my merchandiser, technical designer, found a factory that's going to give me some great emo-cue pieces, and we're right now in the search for materials and fabrics. So if you got the plug on materials and fabrics and you want to rock with your boy, holla at Ian. We're going to make some things happen. Put your thinking cap on, hit the channel, and let us know what's popping.
Yes.
So yeah, those are two major projects going on right now. And other than that, man, just assisting on creating more dope artists. Had an opportunity to work with a girl group called Eclipse. Out of Boston. I was on set for their music video.
That's where I'm from.
Hey, shout out Boston. Shout out Boston in the house.
Beantown.
Hey, and they're just was on the radio the other day. So huge shout out Eclipse. My girl's there, and so that was really lit. And then working with the new artist Ayana Nash. She's like a 20-year-old phenom.
What is her name again?
Ayana Nash.
Ayana Nash.
Shout out Ayana. What's up, beautiful? She writes, produces, records, and performs all her music. It's actually quite insane. She gets on like the drum machine, and she'll like produce her tracks, mix and master, everything, get it done. And she's a baby. She's 20, so she's the future. And the universe brought us together. So I'm working on her new music video coming up, and then just traveling, man. I'm one of the core hip hop choreographers on the Joffrey Ballet circuit. So I travel nationally every year and audition to have kids and adults, pre-professionals, go and train in New York for the summer with the elite, the top choreographers. And we sign kids. We get kids signed. We put kids in music videos. It's a major key move if you're a dancer. So if you're a dancer, look out for the Joffrey tour. I'll be teaching maybe in a city near you. So yeah, that's kind of what's popping right now, man.
That is incredible. Thank you, brother.
Absolutely.
So next big question for you.
Okay.
We have this enlightenment round.
Okay.
Are you ready for the enlightenment round?
Hold on, let me check. My light on? My light's on? Okay, let's go.
We set? All right. And here we go, the enlightenment round. I'm going to take a minute to enlighten our viewers, if you will, on the enlightenment round. The enlightenment round is a rapid fire question round, if you will. It is where I will ask Lars a few quick questions. We'll provide a few quick answers to, and just to give you a little bit more into his mindset and to how he thinks, how he's gotten started, and things of that nature. So it's a quick round for you, and I'm ready when you are, brother.
Let's do it. Shoot. In my industry, you need to be cognitive of how you move. You mentioned earlier that your network is your net worth. Sometimes you, in this industry, have to walk on eggshells, and you have to really be aware of how you treat people. You have to be aware of your persona, your aura, making sure that you're not coming off any kind of way because of the way that you build your brand is through networks and connections. So one specific situation was when I was invited to New York to teach at Joffrey Ballet. It was the first time that they were pioneering or offering hip hop as one of their core training sessions during the summer. So I've got kids from Israel, from the Virgin Islands, from all over the world coming to learn. And so you have a way of teaching that you feel is good, but you have to keep in mind this is a worldly language dance. And so My first week in New York was challenging because I had all these different personalities and abilities and ethnicities to work with. And we all speak the same language. I had kids in my class that actually did not speak English. So that was challenging as well. So for me, having my thinking cap on in that situation really benefited me because I was choosing music and choosing, to personify positivity as opposed to being more strict and really trying to get them to get the dance. So my first week I was on like this, major pain kind of movement. This is how the industry is. You come in, you learn, you greet your instructor, and that wasn't really translating well. And I learned very quickly that if you want to be invited back to things, if you want to really reach and create raving fans, that you have to be cognitive of your persona, how you treat people, and the vibe. You can't come off like you know everything. Always kind of have on that approachable hat. And on a stage like that, that's the biggest stage in the world. New York, the Big Apple, hundreds of kids who have sacrificed their summers to come and train are going to go back and tell people about their experience. Was a huge eye-opener for me. So that was an opportunity that, even though I was later in my career, I had to immediately almost like plug in my thinking cap, because when you recognize that your initial approach isn't taking, having your thinking cap on, being positive, and drawing from that enabled me to finish strong in that one. So yeah, that was an opportunity that I really thought my thinking cap came into play for me.
That's huge. Thanks for the elaboration.
No doubt.
That was a dope answer to that question. That was very elaborate.
That's a tough question, audience and Ian, because I've had so many, but I've learned to celebrate those failures. I guess most recently, I was offered an opportunity to be a regional director on a traveling competition / convention, and it was kind of a vast thing. I initially was just judging nationally a competition, and I was offered to host after my first time judging. So the next city I went out on, I was actually hosting, and I spoke with the owner, and then they offered me an opportunity to train and become a regional director, which was huge. That opportunity was cut short because of some decisions I made years ago. And again, in the industry and in anything that you do, how you move and how you personify will stay with you. I had a studio that I left on bad terms with, and I didn't see that process through how I should have. I wasn't patient with the studio because I felt like I'm Lars, and this thing should move in a certain kind of way because this is what I'm bringing to the table.
Because of who you are.
Disgruntled owners ended up reaching out to this company and sharing their opinion on me. And it ultimately led to me losing and missing out on that opportunity. And that was money I had already spent because I'd have been on tour through, let's just say, the better part of almost 6 months. And I have children, I have a house, I have all the stuff all you have. So that money was spent, and that opportunity was already something that I had let go of many other opportunities so that I could really put in my best effort. And so that taught me to be meticulous, to detail, to be thorough, and to always show gratitude first. No matter how the situation is, if it's not working out, if I'm meticulous, if I pay attention to the details and I show gratitude, there's only one way that I can caveat or move on, and that's with leaving a good impression and thus making a good one into the new venture. So yeah. By giving back. I think success and experience are things that people interpret differently. Success for me is just being able to do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to necessarily have the most money or be the most well-known, but if you figure out how to do what you love, and want to do, that is a huge success. And the experience that you gather and the attempts leading up to you ultimately being able to do what you love, I think is what we should encapsulate and give back to those who are trying to do what we're doing. So that's what I'm going to do. I am a huge advocate of supporting the homeless. We spend money as a country on things. It's a shame that we have homeless people. Like I said, I don't want to get too political. All little brown boys and girls in the world, a lot of their neighborhoods are segregated and they're pushed out of their neighborhoods, gentrified. And so I want to be able to help people who feel like they are overlooked, because everyone deserves an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to use my success and my experience to show and help people to understand that they're not left out. There is people that are thinking about their circumstance. I don't believe people should be judged on their circumstances. So financially, I want to contribute to that. I want to give my time, and that's why I still teach and I travel, because ultimately I want to be able to call the shots and not travel as much and be more on the creative side, but I still want to get that good word out there. So that's how I'm going to use my success and my experiences, by giving back to those whose circumstances may have gotten the best of them now, but I want to let them know that that's a temporary thing.
Lars for president, y'all. Lars for president.
2020, game. Woo! Favorite quote time. I got a lot of them things. Decided to throw a little Millie Rock in there real quick.
You gotta teach me that one.
Yeah. Millie Rock is a classic little urban dance move. We might tape that later for y'all. Like I said, he wants to get in movies, so we gotta help him out. We gotta see if he's really ready. So quotes, I spend so much time ingesting quotes. It's hard for me to pick a favorite. On the fly, I probably have to say, you never encounter roadblocks on the extra mile. And what that means is anything that you commit to doing, don't stop when you're tired, stop when you're done. Go all the way through, because that extra mile is usually what people don't take, and there's never any roadblocks on that one. There's no obstacles, there's no detours. It's just you pushing yourself further in your threshold. So never encounter a roadblock on the extra mile. So lit is binary for me. It's got two meanings. Lit is, first of all, a frame of mind, right? So you can't be lit if you're not first here excited about everything you're doing and everyone who's around you. Being lit is something that starts when you wake up in the morning. And then the second part of being lit is what people take from being around you. If you are lit, you can step into any situation and it's lit, it's turned up. If you have an issue understanding lit, you need to go to the Flourish King on Instagram or on my Snap at Lars Brown. There's all kind of littiness going on at all times. So
I love it.
If you need the definition of lit, follow your boy's movements, because I am lit at all times. So lit, just know that being lit means being aware and cognitive enough to make your feelings and the things that you want to put out there for everyone to see and enjoy. And then also being able to leave someone in a better state of mind than they were before they encountered you. That's what being lit is. Gang, gang.
So you just got me lit right now.
See what I did there? Y'all tuned in? Y'all tuned in?
Chill,
Cap
I'm learning a
episodes?
lot here today.
Lit up in here.
Wait, hold on. You said littiness. Are you coining that?
Come on, that's a Flourish King exclusive.
Littiness.
Littiness.
Like it. Thank you, brother.
Absolutely.
Put me on to the term LITTINESS.
LITTINESS.
Might use that in another episode. We'll give Flourish King the credit.
Okay. I think in the current status of our country, it's very important that we put love above anything right now. With the social injustices, with the potential with Russia, with this NFL thing going on, I feel like a lot of our attention right now is around negativity. Vegas shootings, the LGBT communities being segregated, and their rights not being honored. I just think there's a lot of scrutiny. We're scrutinizing the extremes. Everything's at an extreme. You're either all lives matter or you're Black Lives Matter. But finding that middle, I think, is super important, and pushing love. I don't want to get too biblical on y'all, but the Bible says that we are to love one another as God loves us. So if God loves you, then I will love you. And God doesn't love people differently based on who they are, what they are, or what they look like. So I shouldn't. And that's tough. The other day my dad told me to pray for Donald Trump and this country. And how mind-blowing was it for me to have that moment? Here's someone I really, don't agree with on many levels, but I'm being called upon to pray for him and show love. It's an ultimate, I think, form of growth and maturity. It's learning how to separate what you don't like and what you're uncomfortable with from what you feel like it deserves. And you can be uncomfortable with something and not like something or someone, but still give that person or that thing or that item its due diligence and its attention and its love. And love doesn't mean that you have to praise or agree. I think people sometimes misconstrue love doesn't come with a contract. It's giving without regard. That's all that love is. I don't want anything back from you. I don't need anything from you. I'm not doing this because I expect it will have an outcome. This is just me creating something between an instance or circumstance or person that otherwise I probably wouldn't. So push love, people. If you see somebody out having a hard time, or somebody you wouldn't normally talk to, or somebody that you may have judged, try showing love, even if it's just one person. They may not receive it how you want them to at that moment, but on that car ride home or before they go to bed, they're going to think about receiving that unconditional love. And that's one small step I feel like we can make to correcting a lot of what's going wrong in the world, not just our country. Push love.
Push love.
Bang, bang, bang.
And I think that is littiness. Is that right? Did I use that
falls,
right? Did I use that term
falls under the auspices of littiness. We'll give them a credit on that one. That falls under littiness.
Then,
so yeah.
Push love.
Yeah.
We might have to quote that. Push love.
Push love.
Like
if anything, we push everything else. Push love. Try that.
See, we label all of these channels by their episode number and then the person whom we're interviewing. But if we had to title these interviews from now on, this would be Push Love.
Amen.
I like it.
Push love, y'all.
Good stuff. We are done with the enlighten round, but of course, I'm sure our viewers are wanting to know how they can connect with you. So if you don't mind just sharing with us how we can connect with you on websites, social media, any way that we can get connected with you and any events that you have going on.
Yeah, currently got my website being built. I had footage on there that wasn't licensed, and they're getting really strict on that on the internet. So a lot of the footage that I wanted the people to see was ripped down. And I've got new pictures and things of that nature. So website's being built. It's going to be lars.artist.com. So stay tuned. Check that in the near future. That's going to be up and running. On Facebook, it's just my name, Lars Eric Ruville Brown. Check out the Facebook. On Instagram, the THEE_flourish_king. And the Flourish King on Snapchat as well. The Snap is always lit, so check that out. So that's how you can contact me. currently going to be rebranding myself. So, come with me as I learn the process. I'm currently at just a little over 2,000 followers on Instagram, and I made a personal goal to be at 10K by the new year. So that only gives me 60 days, or a little under 60 days, to do that. A little over, I'm sorry. So it's an astounding goal, but if I fail at that goal, I'll at least be somewhere around 5K. Growing up in my generation, I'll be 37 this year. We didn't have social media. It was all word of mouth. Who was hot, what was not, where did we go this weekend? It was, who told who.
Mm-hmm.
But now you can tap your phone and see how many people are at an event and how many of them are in your specific network. The pictures are powerful. Footage and content is so important. So I'm trying to reinvent myself so that I can stay relevant and current and continue to grow my brand, because I believe it has a place in this industry. So follow me on that. For you kids out there who are struggling, or young adults, or artists who only have a couple thousand followers, maybe not even, follow me on my journey, because I'm going to be helping you guys see how to grow your brand and how to speak to the market from wherever you are. And watch me as I glow up. Gang, gang, gang.
Watch me as I glow up. I like that.
Watch me as I glow up.
Ooh.
Stay lit. Thinking caps on, people.
Yes.
Watch the glow up. It's real.
Yes.
Boy, the Flourish King in here. Stay with me. Stay with
Let's
me.
help him reach his goal, man. He said 10,000 by the end of the year. Follow him on Instagram, _flourish_king. Let's help him get to his goal. Let's help him get that littiness.
Hey.
All right. And thank you all so much for watching. All of the enlightened minds out there, we appreciate you for tuning in. And we just hope that you stay positive, stay creative, and stay lit.